Hello, everyone. Happy Tuesday. Please hit that thumbs up button and subscribe because we are almost at 25,000 subscribers. Actually, we're only about 40. Okay, 40 away from 25,000. There are 340 of you in this chat already. If you look down on the video at the bottom and you see the subscribe button and it's red, please hit it. Please hit it. Let's try and get to 25,000 during the live podcast. That would be amazing. But thank you, as always, for coming and welcome. Sorry, I did have an issue with the broadcast. There was like a glitch on the back of StreamYard, so I had to actually cancel the last live. But it's okay now. Who was it that said that they're in their garden? They're doing their gardening. Doing their gardening. Oh, got Jessica, you're baking bread. Fantastic. I really want to get back into baking. I think it's a really good skill to have, and it's really therapeutic as well. Okay. Sorry, yesterday was a little bit of a downer podcast. I didn't mean for it to kind of turn into that. I guess we should have known that something like this was coming, but I think it kind of just took me off guard so much and then hit me in a personal place. So I didn't mean yesterday to be such a downer, but that's what they want, right? They want us to go into a dark place after what was a week of light, of thriving, and as the word says behind Harry here, respect. And we shouldn't let them do that. And I saw this which popped up on my feed today. It says, I have some terrible news for you all. There really is no other way to say it, so I'll just get straight to the point. This year's Invictus Game has been a massive success, and Harry and Meghan have been incredibly well received by all involved, with plenty of evidence to show that the initiative has once again changed lives for the better. I understand that this information may be distressing or upsetting for many of you, but I just want you all to know that I genuinely couldn't care less about how angry or bitter you are. Get in the bin. Indeed. Get in the bin and go stay miserable in the bin and let the rest of us have fun and smile and thrive, like in this picture here. And this gentleman is right. There's nothing that they can do about it. Nothing the press can do about it. There's nothing the royal household, bitter as they are, can do about it. Nothing Rupert Murdoch and Jonathan Rothermere can do about it. It has impacted so many people in so many positive ways. Not just the athletes and every who took part and their families, the volunteers, the local community there. So, as I always say, wah wah to the haters. Thank you so much, Gracie. Oh, and thank you also to the moderators. You are all amazing. Couldn't swat away the trolls without you. Right. Speaking of trolls, I'm not really going to speak too much about the whole Russell Brand thing because I know it's been very distressing for a lot of people. It's just I'm personally sick and tired of every single time some very powerful man is accused, despite mountains and mountains and mountains of evidence against the individual. The way in which people rush to victim blame, the way in which people really show their hatred of women and girls. And here's one such person, Celia Walden, wife of piss moron himself. I met Russell Brand and there were red flags, but this trial by media makes me uneasy. The allegations against the comedian and his broadcaster are serious, but social media has been jumping the gun with verdicts. Here's the thing. First and foremost, Celia Walden knows that there are plenty of skeletons in her husband's closet. So here she is, getting ahead there early. Piers Morgan will have his time. But let me also say this. I'm not saying that social media always gets it right. I'm not saying that there aren't uh, bad aspects of trial by social media, but part of the reason we end up having trial by social media and this kind of vigilante um, DIY public justice is because the actual justice system does not work. If the justice system did its job, you wouldn't have to have trial by public. Women, no. Hundreds of women, hundreds of victims who have come forward know just how much the injustice system does not work for them. If you come forward today, in most places, even in developed countries where there is a developed law system, it can take years before it goes to trial. And throughout the entire time, victims are often treated like the criminals. Their lives are often picked apart more than the accused. So I do believe in a fair justice system and where people have their right to trial. But the fact of the matter is, especially in cases of R and assaults, that just doesn't happen. So people feel the need to weaponize social media. Is all I have to say about that. And I do hope that um, the victims in that case get their justice. I don't know if they're going to push forward with any type of court trials, but I think something that people should also remember is for Russell Brand's entire career, the media have propped him up as this, lovable rogue. Hence, there is a decade, almost 2 decades of him saying and doing questionable things. Hope the victims get their justice. Over at the Daily Fail, despite writing hundreds of hate articles about her, here we have the Daily Fail using Meghan's fashion for clicks and profit. Because we know people love to buy what Meghan wears. I think it just shows the hypocrisy of the way that they constantly bash her, but still monetize her presence. And I don't think that the tabloids have made this much money probably since the Diana years. And the other way they're making money is weaponizing her father against her. Now, there have been complaints. I don't know if it's enough to launch any type of Ofcom investigation, but I mean, what does Ofcom do anyway? Give people a slap on the wrist. And people have asked the question when it comes to Thomas Markle, why is he only concerned about Meghan and her grandchildren? He's got all these other children, and all these other grandchildren who he doesn't seem to pay attention to. Right, we'll get to comments before we get on to the next thing. Lightside just sent me something, which was really good, actually. Thank you, Lightside. I did see that, and I forgot to put it on my slides. Oh, so annoying. I might just read it out, but that's really good what you just sent me. Thank you. Oh, thank you so much, Antonio. Thank you. JK. What? The sound of failure. Kristen Long, victim blaming is a crying shame. It's happened to my daughters. Do you know there's actually a Twitter thread that's going viral today, and it's about a woman who assaulted a man, and people have basically been like reverse victim blaming. And when you actually read like the same things that people say to women when they've been assaulted, people saying it to a man, you realize just how silly and just cruel and vindictive that victim blaming is. Like, what were you wearing? What were you drinking? Why were you out? Why were you out late at night? Oh, but it was only 20 minutes of action. Like all of these disgusting things that people say, like when the roles are reversed, like you read the comments, you realize how jarring it is. So it needs to just stop. It's not acceptable at all. It's never the victim's fault for what was done to them. And what's interesting is that R is one of the few crimes where we blame the victim in the way that we do. And it's also one of the few crimes that is highly, highly gendered. And even in that includes even in situations where men are odd, they're usually odd majority of the time by other men. Like the attitudes towards abuse just need to check. We need a drastic cultural shift. Yes, that's a very good point, Tony. Still nobody talking about Dan Wooten. So now you really got to ask who is protecting Dan Wooten and who is protecting themselves by protecting Dan Wooten, because I don't think that Dan Wooten was just doing what he was doing for his own sick pleasure. Maybe in the beginning, but I think that there was someone else who wanted to weaponize what Dan Wooten was doing. I hope he gets his day as well. Can only hope. All right, on to the next thing. Yes, over in New York. Is anybody, any squaddies from New York? Did you line up outside to go get your autographs from William? So William said in New York, no one does optimism and ingenuity like the American people. Those were his words. No one does optimism and ingenuity like the American people. Yet you and your staff bullied and briefed against your sister-in-law, claiming that your refusal to accept her wasn't due to her race, but due to her Americanism. Here we have the receipts from Daily Fail articles themselves. Daily Fail writers themselves. Here we have the receipts. It wasn't about color, it was about culture. I don't know why anybody would think saying it wasn't about Rism, it was about xenophobia would be a good defense. And here you are in America trying to get American money and American attention after years of bashing your sister-in-law simply for being an American. What do you even say to that? And there he is, fishing around in the water. Kate was also out and about. She went to I think it was an RAF base, having a good time there, unloading the floatables. I just think that at this point, they don't have any direction. They don't have any direction. They don't know what to be, who to be. They're looking over the grass, trying to copy their in-laws. And I don't know where the Welleses go from here. Apparently, they're hiring another CEO. Kate still doesn't have a secretary. Don't know what's happening with their staff. There's such a high staff turnover. I think we're witnessing the beginning of something quite dramatic happening in the Wells' house. And today, GB News, which is Murdoch's outlet, remember, posted these two articles. Princess Kate branded as arrogant in furious backlash after royal opts for helicopter for 2-hour journey, and Kate and William doomed to fail with latest royal move, says Lady C. So, does this mean something? Is this a sign that Murdoch is done? Mind you, Murdoch is actually a Republican, and as someone on Twitter theorized, they said he used the media to drive away Harry and Meghan, who would have prolonged the life of the monarchy. It's now time for him to completely destroy the institution. He used the royals against themselves. I'm here to watch from the sidelines. Interesting theory. I'm not saying that that's true or false, but it's an interesting theory because this is the first time I've actually seen a very negative article about the royals on GB News. It's usually very sucking up to them, very positive, while beating down Harry and Meghan. So I don't know. It's not like the other royals make the press the level of money that Harry and Meghan do, right? Their money comes from the Sussexes, more of it. And I'm sure this last week they've seen it. And yes, William did go for a meeting at the Plaza Hotel with some UN guy. By the way, these pictures are from Baron. These are Baron posted these on Twitter. I don't know what's going on here, but a hell of a lot of space and awkwardness. I mean, all of this just so he could get a picture with the UN background, UN symbols in the background. And here's the thing about all of this. I didn't want to put it on the screen because I don't want to give this person too much airtime, but there is a huge right-wing figure who posted about William, basically calling him the Antichrist, implicating him in other people who are often the target of right wing and some left wing alternative spaces, shall we say, and basically attacking him. And here's the thing: there were always going to be people on the right in America who don't like Meghan because of her race, who don't like Meghan because she's an outspoken woman, who don't like Meghan because her politics slant more to the left. But none of those people were ever going to become staunch royalists. That was never going to happen. Even for MAGA fans. At the end of the day, they're American. You celebrate the 4th of July for a reason. And this is the mistake I think that William and his team are making. They haven't really done anything of value that will be of any interest to really anyone in the US, even the right, who they're trying to court, and who today they went after William because his core, if that's who he's trying to get attention from, well, they're not particularly interested in causes like the environment, and they are highly critical of organizations like the UN. So I don't really know who William is trying to speak to here. And I don't think him and his team do either. Wait. Okay, I'll take your comments and then we'll go to the very last thing, actually some good news. Those who paid very close attention to the end of the Trump administration will get the joke at the bottom of the picture. I remember that day. Who could forget that day? Oh, Rudy Giuliani. Oh my God. And GB News is not Murdoch. Talk to GB. Is GB News not Murdoch? Well, it's similar people. Similar people. Yeah, the Welleses are overwhelmed by Harry and Meghan, but they don't actually need to be. They don't need to be. They need to focus on finding their own identities. But I think that the time for that is gone. No, FYI, the person who said GB News is not Murdoch. I think that he does have some investment in it. I'm pretty sure he does. But nonetheless, it's a similar um, people of a similar ideology. BD, yes, they are flailing around aimlessly trying to latch onto something. And Kate is not going to Singapore, and there's been given no explanation as to why. Yeah, but only a lot of religious people calling William the Antichrist. There's actually been a conspiracy theory for decades about Charles being the Antichrist, but I'll let you go down that rabbit hole. Star, you said, and he did not have a meeting. He stood in line with others for a meet and greet, each hand about 2 minutes of photo op with the UN boss. Yeah, that's all. That's all this was, a photo op. Just a photo op. And not all right when people disliked Meghan. Do you know what? I'm sure there's probably some right wing people that may like her. It's just I would say the overwhelming like majority of the noise comes from them. But yeah, not to be polarizing. Like, you know, people, I don't think anyone squarely fits into right and left, and most people are somewhere like along the spectrum. It's just that truthfully the majority of the noise does come from that side. Yes, you see, that's the name of the guy. I'm not gonna say it or put it on the screen. But that's the name of the guy. uh yes, Star, don't interrupt the enemies. Well, if they were listening to us at all, um they would have stopped with their nonsense by now. Like, they would have stopped. They seem to just be listening to themselves. Oh, Vera, yes, I saw the AI images that you said. They were really cute. I don't think they look too much like me, but they were really cute. I like the one with like the braiding hair. That was really cute. Like, well, it was like one of the last images. Like the braids were kind of bunched up. But oh, that was very sweet of you. But no, the ones you sent were really cute. Thank you. Oh, thank you so much, Lorna. Thank you for the super sticker. Much appreciated. Thank you all for your generosity. Can do it without you. I mean, day in, day out for whew, coming to 700 podcasts. Thank you, Antonio, also for the coffees. Kim, you said, who is running the show for William? Do they not know how many millions of people in America read Spare? This is Meghan's home. Smile and wave so back to the pod. Indeed. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Oh, I mean, I don't even know how at this point they would be able to speak to the US. And I don't know why they don't just focus on the UK, for goodness sake. I mean, look at him here. He's walking through the river. He should be walking through those rivers full of sewerage in the UK and trying to raise awareness about that. Of course he won't, because it's his Tory friends that decided to plonk all that sewerage in the water supplies anyway. Like, there's things that they could just be focusing on at home. Yes, Joseph. Put lipstick on a pig and you'll see a pig. We know phony desperation when we see it. Everybody can see it. And there's been really such little fanfare about William being in New York. I do think Kate's presence does help because she has, you know, the fashion girlies that pay attention to the fashion. And I wonder if this him going to New York alone and then him going to Singapore alone, I wonder if this is actually him testing being by himself. Because the thing is, when Kate comes to events with him, if she's wearing something that, you know, the fashion blogs and stuff can talk about and monetize, you can almost be assured that we'll get some magazine covers and some front pages. You can almost be guaranteed. But just William on his own is a struggle. And I think he's gonna find that it's gonna be a struggle. But clearly, them together, they just look so distant and so fed up of each other that people are starting to notice more and more. And especially, we saw this leading up to the announcement of the uh, separation between Diana and Charles. It was just two people who looked fed up of each other in public. Yes, Miss P talks. I do think you're seeing a similar pattern here, where they are leading this up to basically a separation announcement, and some people are theorizing before the end of the year. Thank you so much, John Jenkins. Half of the awesomeness is you. Okay, let's. Oh, Connie Balmer. Thank you so much, Connie Balmer. Thank you. Hope you're having a great day. All right, on to some positive news. Meghan. Some unseen photos of Meghan from Dusseldorf. Looking very lovely here. And as usual, no leaks. It is incredible to me that we had nothing but endless leaks when Harry and Meghan were at Kensington Palace, which is a closed space with a staff who are hired by the firm, and yet Harry and Meghan can go out into the public, visit schools, visit all these places, cafes, help centers, where there's numerous members of the general public, and there's no leaks. So you're telling me that the general public are better at keeping a secret than palace staff? Anyway, she visited a cafe in Dusseldorf that helps young women and girls who are struggling on the streets. Then, if they need support, advice, protection, just an opportunity to go leave the difficult life behind for a few hours. You can rest, eat, change the laundry, and just find someone to listen to their problems. And there's social workers and lawyers there as well. I think that this is a fantastic cause. And I was listening to Baron earlier talking about this, and just the idea that it's a cafe and it feels a little bit more casual, because sometimes, like, even if you want help, the idea of actually going to a help center can be very jarring. So I think this is a nice medium. And again, Meghan finding local businesses where she can create impact. And I'm sure there's some squaddies who have, donated to this, and this has raised their profile. So it's called the Trebe Cafe, and the manager Maria and business area manager Tanja reported on their work, but then left the field to the girls and the Duchess to prepare lunch. So she was actually helping to prepare lunch as well. And this is something that, we see Meghan do anytime she goes anywhere, getting her hands stuck in. Meghan took over the chopping of vegetables without further ado. In a relaxed atmosphere, the girls now had the opportunity to ask the Duchess everything they always wanted to know about her. It was a great event, said Buck, delighted with the distinguished visit. The young women and girls in the Trebe Cafe have been through a lot. Their self-esteem often suffered as a result. The fact that a woman you admire takes the time for you and your concerns is balm for the soul, she said, and I'm sure it would be. What an amazing moment for those young girls. And I wouldn't be surprised if they also got a nice little donation as well. Amazing. And this is what they don't like. And there was actually an article that Omid wrote. I think I should read it out because it was actually very good. Where he just talks about how Harry and Meghan have been able to do all of this without taxpayer funding, without too much hoo-ha. Oh, hang on. Someone just sent me something in Twitter. Give me a sec, folks. Oh, so apparently, yeah, breaking news, breaking news. So Jeremy Clarkson apparently will get his Stupid Farm series back on Amazon. So I mean, it's like I said, I think they were waiting to see whether or not all of it will die down. But you know, Karma has a sense of humor. You think she's missed you and she'll strike later on. Anyway, let's read Omid's article. Let that sad little man have his little farm show. Where is it now? Where is Omid's article? Okay, now I can't find Omid's article. Where is Omid's article? Oh dear. Oh, it was a really good one actually. I really wanted to read it. Oh man, he hasn't deleted it, has he? Right, let me put the music on, folks. I'll be back in a sec. Oh no, he hasn't deleted it. I was mistaken. It's not a new article. It's actually from 2022. Never mind. Never mind. All right. I will instead read the tweets that Lightside sent me because these are actually from someone who was on the floor. Sorry, not on the floor, on the ground, on the ground in Dusseldorf, and it was a really good thread actually. So this is from James Dunlop, MBE. So James is a documentary filmmaker from England, and he said the following. The last 10 days has been quite eye-opening on the global treatment of Meghan Markle. I had some lovely moments with her and Prince Harry around the world and towards I had some lovely moments with her and Prince Harry around and towards myself and everybody at the Invictus Games, but I see so much online hatred and bullying towards her. Some of it was even deliberately coordinated across multiple online accounts. No one should be bullied or berated online. It's foul. She's not dressed smart enough to meet veterans and their families, they said. It was a military sponsored event, but effectively a civilian sports event. The vast majority of spectators and veterans were in shorts and t-shirts, all quite informal. They also said, why is a civilian in a military parade? It wasn't a military parade. The cycling medal ceremony had a small group march, probably 20 meters, to the presentation area with German military individuals. Meghan was one of the many civilian VIPs in the ceremonies. Seeing so much false information around their attendance and the games has certainly shown me just how prevalent online bullying is, especially on this platform. It's such a shame in 2023. I thought we were all better and kinder. Sir, how long have you been on Twitter? So it took for him to engage with Meghan to see how bad the bullying was. This is the first time he's seeing how bad it can be. Behind the nonsense online, I witnessed only thanks towards them. Standing ovations when Harry came onto stage and left. Thanks that they made so many special moments at sports matches and handing out medals and taking the time to speak to so many people and have pictures. Online bullying needs to be eradicated. I saw coordinated online attacks after events. I saw the same short edited video with the same description posted over multiple different social media accounts within minutes, taking up hundreds of thousands of views each, all spewing the same misinformed negative rhetoric. And funnily enough, the same British tabloid mentioned in their documentary spouting the same disgusting headlines formalizing the nonsense. I seriously wonder what those journalists are thinking as they write this clickbait news. It's been so eye-opening to be able to compare the real-life treatment of two people, the love, the gratitude I saw, versus the online media version of events. Personally, I'm very thankful for them to spend an entire week with veterans and families from around the world, 21 countries, I believe. They brought fun, joy, and memories everywhere they went, every time watching different games and awarding medals. So thank you. There you go. From somebody who was on the ground and got to experience it firsthand and realizing now just how bad the misinformation is. Right. And with that, we'll call it a day. Um, it was a great week, and it's annoying, but indeed we shouldn't let them dampen our spirit. Um, okay. Oh, thank you so much to Lauren Hamburg for 60 months of being a member. Alan, thank you so much for the super chat. You said that photo of Kate shows what a fashioning she is. What's a fashioning? Well, she's got a whole new mood board from Invictus now. So plenty of inspiration. I still have my theories as to why she does what she does, continuously copying Meghan's style. But I'll just keep that to myself for now. Thank you so much, Lauren Hamburg. Meghan is so amazing, giving hope to all women, indeed. Hugely inspiring. And it just shows that you don't have to, if you can do big gestures and you can give huge amounts of money, then go ahead and you should. But it's the small things that matter. And if we all did the small things, they all add up, right? And that's what it's about, as Tara and Meghan always say. Service is universal. You don't need titles and castles and crowns. Cats, can you imagine Mumbles chopping vegetable? Oh God, no. Not after that pancake flip I saw. Can you imagine Meghan though chopping vegetables next to you? I'd die. just like randomly walk in. Here, Anne, chop the onions. Sure, Meghan. Barry Rose, you said boycott his show. I think his fans are ready and waiting. His farm fans. And have you ever seen this year Kate and William doing so much? And towards the end of the year, mind you, been doing loads after a particularly long holiday. Yeah, Lorna, Owen isn't playing around. I can't wait for his book. That's going to be a good holiday read. I'll be reading that over Christmas. All right, let's get through the last of the comments and we'll wrap it up. Yeah, Wendy, he's only aware now in 2023. Really? Like, come on, bro. You're an MBE. You've got to have seen it. Mia Sylvester, you said the UK media will be the downfall of the royal family. All the relationship they have between them, the royals and the media, is is just very strange. like they work together, but they also stab each other in the back. But then you've got the royals briefing against each other, and the royals also have to stay in line while trying to exert some level of power. It's just a really weird dynamic. Star, you said hopefully as a documentary maker, he will produce something about online bullying and the coordination involved. Yeah, he probably should instead of just tweeting about it. And Mrs. S, she said, if I had not seen the Invictus Games, I would believe the headlines. They are literally out of control with the lies and the Sussexes. Yes. And the best they could do was wheeling out Thomas Markle. Absolutely horrendous. All right. I think I'm going to leave it there. Thank you as always, everyone. Thank you for getting me. I mean, by the morning. If not, let's see. It's at. Oh, we are. Okay, we are 8 people away from 25,000. We are 8 people away from 25,000. Can we get it to 25,000 if you haven't subscribed already? Before we get off the air, let's get it to come on. There's 1,178 of you in the chat right now. Hit that subscribe button, please. So we get to 25,000 before I go off the air. Do I have maybe I should play my old song while I'm waiting. Should we play the old song? Or should I play Williams here and there?
I'm sorry we can only come and give words and comfort, but we are thinking about you the whole time and we really care about what's going on. So
sometimes it's lots more than financial.
Yeah. Well, if we can give you the odd smile here and there, that's important. So, you know.
Question: did you get a chance to meet with the royal family? And if not, how was it like having them there in the building?
Jesus, Mary, and Joseph?
The Prince and Princess of Wales.
Oh, no, I did not. I'm only familiar with one royal family. I don't know too much about that one.
All right, 2 more people have subscribed. Okay. Well, by the time I get up, it'll be 25,000. Thank you so much, folks. All right, let's dance our way out. Thank you as always. I'll see you tomorrow. Ciao.
For a fact, they both don't like that woman.
Yep, I told you.
I tell you that because, furthermore, if you look at the situation, their father met that woman when he was 29. Do you know how old Diana was? 16. Diana was 16.
Oh my goodness.
My man
What
was
would they say in 2023?
You see? The age police have not said anything.
The age
So
police.
now, when your
Severe grooming.
imagine your mother goes on TV
brutal, man.
and says your father and his descendants and his predecessors are bullying me, they're making me not eat, the woman is giving me sleepless nights, and then my mother dies, and then you go and marry that woman. Huh? You think I'm gonna like that woman?
That is a slap in the face.
A big slap in the face. But for William, as you said, he's sucking up because what? For him, he wants to be king.
He wants to be king.
So, but Harry, my guy, my brother, sticking up for his
William
brother.
is what you call a man that does not stand for anything, can fall for anything.
He will fall. Look at him; he's just like the wind.
That's why his head is falling as well. His hair is falling out.
Allegedly, he's also like father, like son. I hear.
Yeah.
He also has a side pig, but
Allegedly, allegedly. Is this a news flash?
And allegedly,
are you breaking?
She was there at the
We
coronation.
didn't confirm it, you didn't hear it here.
Me, I'm just talking what I read in the newspapers.
What newspaper is this?
That already she was also there at the coronation. On Camilla's side. That's what I saw.
William had chest, eh?
Allegedly. So for me, I don't think they like her, but they tolerate her.
So they have a department of side piece affair.
You don't see that.